Welcome back, everyone. With me this time, two new guests over from Caffeinated Conspiracies. We have Omer and Glenn. I found you on Facebook, I believe, and started talking. And just so you know, I was listening to you guys while I was in the shower last night, which sounds really funny, but I was listening to the spear of, what did you guys call it? Usually people call it...
The Spear of Destiny.
Yeah, the Spear of Destiny, and I was listening to that, and it was awesome, and I kept giggling about the baby in the background the whole time.
Yeah, that's my little one. He likes to pipe up on the episodes.
Wait till they're old enough to be on the show.
Yeah, we would say we're a family-friendly show, but we're really not.
Neither.
But we like to have the whole family on our episodes. I've had my stepdaughter pipe up. I've had my stepson pipe up. My little baby, the dogs. Everyone's involved in our show.
It's a family affair. I've actually done an episode with my son. Like, it was just me and my son, and we did a couple episodes. So that was a lot of fun. Only he's old enough to contribute.
I've had my sister on. I've had my sister on before.
Yeah.
Where she's very, obviously, I don't know if you've heard many of the episodes, but she's very religious. I am not. But she's also a flat earther. So when we did our episode on the flat earth conspiracy, we ripped into her so much that she was there spouting things.
For a new theory. She was thankful.
Yeah, she was spouting things from the Bible. And I wouldn't mind one of the Bibles that she mentioned. We were like, but the church doesn't believe in that Bible, so why have you brought it up? And it was just one of those fun episodes. But that's why we bring family on. It's just for the fact that I'm allowed to full on take the mick out of them and get away with it and not get shouted at.
I've never heard a pairing of religious and flat earther in the same sentence.
Absolutely bizarre. It is absolutely bizarre.
You listen to the episode. I fixed it. We made them all happy.
Yeah. He tries.
What I want to do here is I'm going to give you guys a little blurb here. Let everybody know who you are, what you do, why you do it, and just get a little free advertising in at the beginning, so it's not like you have music beforehand, you can skip ahead. You're just going to get in there balls deep, and let's go.
Let's go for it. So, yeah, just to sum us up, we're Caffeinated Conspiracies. There's myself, Glenn, there's Omer, and my other half, Lizzie. The three of us, we get on each week. We love to talk, whether it be conspiracies, ghost stories, UFOs, anything you hear on this podcast, basically. We do something similar. We just like to go in with no plan whatsoever. We don't take them too seriously. We like to have a laugh. We have a bit of a joke. And then we go for our theories at the end where my other half, Lizzie, will see, can we make this conspiracy theory gay? Or Omer has his crazy balls to the wall ideas of what it could be. But yeah, we just have no plan. We just go in and hope for the best. If you love British humour, we are definitely on all there. The conspiracies. Yeah, we look at everything.
I might not get the humour, but I love the accents.
Yeah, the humour's sort of, there's a bit of an acquired taste, but you'll get there.
I have the different humour. It's just that barriers for everybody out there. We were literally messaging back and forth about this thing.
Yeah.
And you threw out some British slang, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what did you just say? I could not figure out. I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I laugh because you two sound totally different.
We do.
As far as your accents go. So you very much so sound like Tommy from Let's Get Freaky. And I'm not sure where this guy's from, but he doesn't sound like you at all.
Damn the alien.
Yeah, he is. He's the weird
one. He's the imposter.
Yeah.
But so I'm just going to disclaimer now. I know that I have a disclaimer at the beginning of every episode, but this one, the next two episodes are exceptionally gruesome on occasion. I just wanted to go ahead and point out that if you have a weak stomach or have issues with gore, I don't suggest you listen. The first part might not be as bad. Second part, I definitely made two parts, and I had to walk away from my notes and take a breather and come back because I was getting nauseous, and I was like, this is not good. Like, when the host has to step away, you've got a problem. And real quick, though, Omer, did you have anything to add? You're awfully quiet up there.
Glenn, do the lead. I come up with the craziness towards the end.
One thing you guys did for the Spear of Destiny was the 1 to 5 factors.
Yes, we do it on every episode where we score the theories from a scale of 1 to 5. We do like the believability scale, and we also do the fun scale. So where we find it, if it's believable, sometimes it's not as fun.
Yeah.
The conspiracy is not as fun, but when you hear the absolute crazy ones, they're so fun. But then you've got to score it on the flip side of the believability. It's really fun. It'd make some of them, they'll make a great film, they'd make a great story.
Yeah.
But to believe it, it's got to be a
Yeah.
one. But yeah, we started that around about season 3 when we started to score things.
Love it.
Picked up, and we kept it in. We just really enjoyed it.
Usually we do cryptid or crap. And so I don't really know where that came from. It's just one day it just happened, or we like get on the fence. So you're either on one side of the fence or the other, or you straddle it and get hurt. You can't ever decide. But I did like that. It was pretty cool. I was like, man, maybe I should factor that in, do a little something. So feel free at the end, once we get towards the end of each part, we can kind of start and we can kind of add your guys in to make you guys a little more comfortable, merge the two. We're pretty
Sounds
open.
fun to me.
We fucking
Let's
wing
go
it.
for it.
All right. How many hordes of humans have hashed out how handy it would be having extra hours in the day? Some speculated that sleep could be eradicated to increase productivity, while others pondered the potential to have operatives or military operations running around the clock. But for those of us sleep deprived and suffering, we all know too well insomnia instigates improper behavior and could create some rather curious complications. So let's get back into the time machine, grab some caffeine as we try to stay awake, discussing the 1947 Russian sleep experiment. What do you guys know about this?
Not much.
Really?
But I have my tablet ready on my lap.
Oh, you're cheating?
Ready to go.
You're cheating?
I'm just getting some basic information so I can familiarize myself.
All right.
I know a bit. I've heard of it, but I haven't really looked into it.
It's pretty gnarly. What about you, Omer? Have you heard of the sleep experiment?
In the same thread of like MK Ultra, but not looked into it.
All right. So I am going to also disclaimer, because I am under the weather, everything on my screen's a little fuzzy. So if I seem like I'm stumbling, it's because I literally cannot read my screen. I've zoomed in. I've tried everything I can. My eyes are just not functioning. I think I got goop in them. So if I look like I'm straining at the camera like a little old lady and I need some glasses, I apologize. It's really not that. I just literally cannot see my screen. Now,
you survived your own tongue twister of
I know. I write all my own stuff here. So I'm all about
better than we do. We usually take like 6 or 7 takes before we even get it perfect. It takes me a lot of editing. It takes me a lot of editing to get it done.
I'm a little bit of a writing connoisseur, you could say. The history and details involved in the experiments, and humans and animals were both tortured and murdered in this process. Disclaimer there. Before we get into one that many of us are aware of, I wanted to make some notes on some other experiments to just shed some light on the progression over time. And I'm fully aware that my numbers come out very like I'm from the South, so I apologize ahead of time. But in 1894, a Russian physician and scientist by the name of, oh dear God, Marie de Menacin, maybe? was studying.
We'll not agree.
I know, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sounds great. Sounds great.
Sounds good. Sounds about right.
Nailed it. But they were studying the effects of sleep deprivation on puppies kept in constant motion. She found that fatality occurred within days when sleep was not, when sleep was completely removed. Another finding was that the most prominent lesions were located in the brain. So basically, they put these puppies on treadmills. Actually, they poke them. Yeah, they're trying to keep these things no nap, no nothing. And they died within days. They completely removed the sleep, and then whenever they dissected them to see what was going on, there were lesions on the brain. My space is very active, so if you see the light go off, don't be surprised. It happens a lot. I leave it on in case my invisible friends wants to chime in, but they do like to kill my internet occasionally, so just heads up. But anyway, so back in 1898, Lamberto, this looks like Daddy. I'm sure it's Dottie, but it looks like Daddy. And Julio Teresi, 2 Italian psychologists, also ran studies to keep dogs awake by walking them. Unfortunately, these puppies did not survive either. But they did take 9 to 17 days, and it was verified that they did not die from anything. They found out it was not being lack of oh my god. They did not die from a lack of feeding or anything like that. It was strictly they ran them like crazy and they died, and they were like, "Oh, maybe they got starved or they were dehydrated or whatever." None of that. It's just they just literally dropped dead of exhaustion, I guess. And in the same ones, they also found that there was some physical degenerative changes in the brain because of the sleep deprivation. So again, we have the puppies not moving initially, and they had brain lesions. The second ones, they lasted longer, so 9 to 17 days, but they still had the lesions on the brain. And then during the same year, psychiatrist Cesar, oh my gosh, Agostini. I really got to come up with some better names. Maybe I should stick to the U.S. studies.
This is exactly the same as our names. This is exactly the same as ours. Whenever we have to pronounce any names, it's just ridiculous. And it always seems to be the episodes that I do. Or it was like when we were trying to... There was one episode where we're trying to say the chupacabra, and the amount of times that everyone said something different. Chupacabra, you know...
Yeah, chupacabra.
Yeah, you've had all sorts... Chupa chup, you know, it's just easier just to call it a chupa chup lolly. It's just... It's ridiculous. Why is it always my episodes where I've got stupid names?
Yes. I usually mine are all people names for the most part. It's just that I am horrible. So we're going to go with Cesar Agostini. Sure, it sounds great.
Sounds right to me.
I know. So unfortunately, he ran an experiment on more doggies as well. And he kept them in metal cages to deter them from becoming fatigued. So again, we've got everything in our power to keep these things awake. And these test subjects lasted around 2 weeks before they died. And they too had degenerative abnormalities. I should not have done this freaking episode whenever I can't see my fucking screen. This is bad, dude. I am so sorry ahead of time. Like, we're just now getting in here and my brain's nah. I did take cold medicine about 20 minutes ago, though, so maybe it's not helping my case.
If in a bit you just lay there for a bit,
Yeah,
we'll take over.
Yeah, just take over. I should just pass
We'll
my
try
notes
our
on.
best. We'll wing it.
We'll go with that. But this one's too, they had degenerative abnormalities observed in their brains, and with all of these evil experiments showed evidence of motor exhaustion with or without intense sensory stimulation. So some of them, they just kept them awake. Some of them, they were running. Some of them, they were using noise and all this stuff to keep them awake. And these poor puppies, I'm just saying, I don't know why they use dogs and not something else. I mean,
Yeah,
not like
usually.
better, but
Yeah, usually you do an experiment.
First,
we test
right?
on mice first, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's the usual thing. But then
mice,
again,
rabbit.
yeah. How would you keep mice up? Would you do the same just to make them run around? Because eventually,
Vibrate.
one of them should have got, you know what, mate? I am not doing this. I'm not running. I'm going to sleep, right?
I literally
don't care.
I went for a walk yesterday with my boyfriend, and I looked down and I was like, "Oh, look, half a mouse!" Like literally the ass end of a mouse and the tail, which is like laying in the sidewalk. And we have a bunch of stray cats, and I was like, "Oh, someone got some snack," and it was literally just the back end of a mouse just laying dead on the sidewalk. And I was like, "Oh, let's step around that. This is just not
Yeah.
right." The circle of life. What do we know?
Exactly.
But the experiment being excavated today in the Russian sleep experiment is what we're wanting to touch base with mostly. And most people in the conspiracy or dark history community are familiar with this. And I myself have always been fascinated with the crazy and morally questionable methods conducted in the name of science. Back in post-World War II days, chaos, 1940s, Russian Soviets were still in possession of what they dubbed, quote unquote, political prisoners, which you never want to be. In 1947, 5 of these unlucky souls were rumored to have been shipped off to the Soviet military research establishment to be used at the scientist's discretion. Also never a good sign. These researchers were wondering what the effects would be physically, mentally, and emotionally if these men were constantly kept away from the sweet, restful state of the Sandman's dust. I'm just like, oh, this is awful. As an insomniac, this is awful. It is said that Russian researchers developed a state-of-the-art stimulant to keep soldiers from needing sleep for up to 30 days. The morbid masterminds maintaining the prisoners utilized an ultimatum. The pawns in the research venture would be granted their freedom if they could tolerate the torturous terms for 30 days. So these guys are obviously probably not enjoying life as prisoners, and they're given the
You'll agree to
opportunity.
anything. Yeah, you'd agree to it,
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
It's like you
I've
can be
never-
free if you can make it through 30 days.
You look at it and go, 30 days? That's nothing, that. I can do that.
Exactly. My thing is
What are you talking about? We're millennials. Keep me in the prison. Free food, housing.
food, housing. I didn't go there. He did. He opened the door. This is like court. Open the door. I'm going with you, Your Honor. That is no joke. Can you throw in an iPad? Okay, we're good for years. The hell with the 30 days. Just throw me in some Wi-Fi and an iPad, and we are good.
Yep. Maybe a book or two, and I'm good. No, I'm happy then.
Who needs that paper shit? The bare minimum, we're talking a Kindle. Bare minimum.
I would turn the camera around because I've had to reorganize my office and bring all my books in out of the front room because our child just keeps going for all my books and throwing them across the room. So I've had to bring everything into here, rearrange everything in as quick as possible so he doesn't keep getting his grubby little hands on him. But
Speaking of puppy experiments, my puppy got into my studio, grabbed one of my books, my research books, and shredded it.
I don't let my dogs anywhere near I don't even let my little boy near my office.
I don't have a door. I'm currently in what used to be my living room because it's the only space that I have right now to put my studio. And so I have like a curtain, that's it. And there was a perimeter collar that would keep him out of the room, but he somehow pulled it off and chewed up the strap. So now I have to like rig another strap out of another collar. It's like freaking MacGyver shit. Like I am coming up with all kinds of crap trying to keep this damn dog out of my studio. It is awful.
I can't say anything. I am literally in a cupboard under the stairs. That is
so you're Harry Potter in that shit.
Pretty much. This is the wall on either side. There is not much room. I cannot open my arms anymore.
That is perfect.
I have to full on turn around to leave the room.
Oh, stand and turn. Okay, yeah. If I had a cupboard under the stairs, I would totally use that. But I don't even have stairs, so I currently just have no living room. I've got my art stuff behind me, behind this wall. This is just a temporary wall behind me that's got all my stuff on it. So it's okay. We're making do with what we got. Again, the terms were, if you can survive 30 days, you're home free. And with that in mind, all of the men were led into a hermetically sealed chamber. Some accounts state that this room was equipped with built-in cameras, hidden microphones, and two-way mirrors with a porthole style to monitor the results. So not just like a typical, you're being questioned on Law and Order kind of mirror, but they looked like the side of a boat. They were just two-way. So they knew somebody was watching them.
That's got to be really creepy. Just thinking that I'm not allowed to sleep, but there's some weird guy behind there looking at me.
Yeah.
Not sleeping.
Are you looking at me?
But
Isn't there a... There's a hotel in Japan, isn't there, where you can stay there for free as long as you agree to being watched the whole time?
What?
That is
You have to
creepy.
sign a waiver to go in that says you're happy to be set, and literally they just live stream what you do in the hotel room. The only place that's private is the bathroom, but that's
I'm
it.
just saying, there's like some X-rated shit going on if I'm in a hotel room. Like they're gonna be like, what kind of freak is this girl into? What the hell?
All they're gonna get is me just going. All they're gonna get is me just going to bed.
Scratching your nutsack or something.
Yeah. Get my
Walking
quilt
around.
up. Just in my pants, just chilling.
Thinking you're
You
doing
fart
your
and the
sleep
blanket
isn't going
moves
to come
up
out.
and down.
Yes, that sort of thing.
Not me. Might be like we're just not even. Yeah, they'd have to. You can live stream it unless it's like on a certain site. Let's just say that. Because it is not going to be G-rated by any means if I'm in a hotel. Just throwing that out there. But anyway, yeah. Okay. So once they were sealed inside, the stimulant was administered via gas. So what's getting me is, again, this is like post-World War II. They've got these people, and they're essentially putting them in a gas chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're closing it off. You've got all the stuff. The only difference is this gas is not meant to kill you. Not meant to kill you. It's essentially there just to try to keep you up and going to see if it can keep you awake and what happens in that time frame. I'm not really sure why your soldiers can't get any sleep, but whatever. But everything seemed to be going swimmingly until around day 5. And as a person with insomnia and a bipolar person that goes through manic episodes. Usually I'm good till day 3 or 4. Then stuff starts hitting the fan and my body just starts wigging out. Apparently that's normal. And it was at this time where the victims began to complain about the situation that led them to be part of the experiment. The paranoia presented itself in this time frame as well. So they've already started, they're getting irritated, they're pissed off, they're stuck in this box, and then they start getting paranoid. As one could imagine, the agitation and fighting began to be a problem as they started experiencing the signs of sleep deprivation. Again, samesies, and it's monstrous. Then things got quiet and a bit strange when the victims started avoiding conversations amongst themselves and instead started whispering into the mirrors and where they assumed the microphones were. That's just so creepy. To me, that's just so gross.
Imagine walking past the mirror, though, to look in to see how they're doing. There's just one guy just stroking the wall, talking to it.
Yeah. And they're like,
keep going.
Side is the horror story on again. The people looking at them, looking through the mirror that's meant to be one way, or the people inside.
and my thing too is
It's like both sides are now scary.
normally when it's two-sided mirror, you're still seeing a reflection of yourself, correct? Like you're just not seeing out there. So you're like whispering to yourself.
Then imagine you're the person on the other side of that mirror.
Paranoia and whispers began. The prisoners believed that gaining the trust and favor of the researchers would spare them early, and they initiated the snitching phase. They began ratting out the other inmates in their whisper sessions in front of the mirrors. I don't know what they were ratting them out about. I think they were trying to maybe giving some intel, like thinking that if they knew secrets or something like that, maybe it would get them off the hook. Snitches get stitches, which they will at some point. We'll get into that. Only a few days later, the whispers and woeful participants turned into wails and shrieks. One by one, they began to lose touch with reality, and violent screaming echoed inside the chamber. The screaming specimens continued and ran the length of the small chamber, forcing the voice at max capacity for 3 straight hours until all he could muster was the occasional squeaks due to the overuse and damage to his vocal cords. What got the attention of researchers was not the reaction of others, but rather the lack of reaction to the outbursts of the wild man. They simply remained lost in their own worlds, whispering to whomever would listen. Okay, they're all in here, and one dude loses his shit, and he is running back and forth, and the room's not huge, but he's running back and forth, just screaming until he physically cannot scream anymore, and nobody else is responding. They're still just whispering in their own little worlds.
Sounds like our household. I've got autistic children, so it's like that anyway. You have one just running up and down shouting, and you just sit there and go, "Yep, this is a normal day for us. This is just a Monday."
Kids aren't used to it, and there's no be quiet, sit down, stop. There's nothing. They're just over there the whole time.
It's like you can just go, "Jim, sit down and have a nap, mate."
Yeah,
because he can't go to sleep.
No, and they're pumping them full of this gas, so you don't know what they're seeing, what they're hearing themselves. And once the second man joined into the screaming, that's when things took a turn for the worse. By the way, this room was not empty. They had stuff to do in this room. And speaking of books, they start ripping pages out of the books that are in there, wiping their asses with the book, and sticking the papers over the portholes to obscure the view of the researchers.
See, now that's clever. That's clever.
I shit you not. Ha ha. So then, I guess they're trying to be being watched. They literally rip the pages out, wipe their ass, and stick it to the mirror. But I will give them that. You're right. That was pretty clever.
I can't see you. You're not allowed to see me.
I love how you lick it and stick instead of wipe your ass.
It's like how they took lick and stick and turned it to shit and stick.
Yeah, look at it. You know, I can't stand up and start ripping pages out of my own books and start wiping on the walls. If the other half comes in, she'll have some questions, you know.
Yeah, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing in there? They're watching me.
You'd just be upset with you hurt books.
Yes, you would.
Yeah.
I mean, especially
Glenn gets committed in the next 2 days.
Yeah. Honestly, our bedroom upstairs looks like Waterstones. There's that many books. It looks like a bookshop. It really does. There's just books everywhere.
We don't have that at my house.
So if I tried doing that, kill me.
Well, yeah, we only have my collection for research, and that's it. Which is very small because I'm a broke bitch. Go join the Patreon or go buy me a coffee. Yeah, that started though, so that's kind of fun. But anyway, so they start doing this, and that was when the screaming and the whispering stopped. I mean, everything just silent. And then 3 more days passed, and the conductors had continued to receive no sound through the microphones of any type. They checked the status of the devices every hour and established that they were not malfunctioned. Everything appeared to be working fine, but it was just silent. After all the screaming and whispering, it's just that dead noise, and that's so nerve-wracking and so fucking creepy to me. Once they were reassured that the sound was in fact performing properly, they moved on to check the oxygen usage in the compartment. Although no one was making a peep, the oxygen showed the amount of oxygen being used in the room was in fact the current usage for 5 men is what it should have been. But not only that, it more accurately portrayed the consumption of the men performing the strenuous exercise. They're monitoring the oxygen levels in the chamber. Not only is it adequate for 5 people to be in there, it's 5 people. The amount of oxygen being used is 5 people doing strenuous exercise continuously. There's going to be an increase because we all know how it's like if you're, well, normal people to run. This bitch doesn't run. For most people running, if I'm running, you better be running.
Yeah,
too,
we
because
say the
something
same
bad
thing.
is coming.
If we're running,
Yeah,
run with us because there's clearly something either chasing us,
yeah.
or the ice cream man is driving that way. So if we're running, follow us.
And if you run.
Yeah, it's you don't have to be the fastest. You just have to be faster than the other guy.
Yes.
That's basically what it boils down to. They're clearly having readouts on oxygen level, which is good. But on the 14th day, the scientists went against their own rules and guidelines and proceeded to post a message over the intercom to the victims. The announcement went as follows, quote, "We are opening the chamber to test the microphones. Step away from the floor and lie flat on the floor or you will be shot. Compliance will earn one of you the immediate freedom." Can you imagine? Like, you don't even know if it's going to be you. But this time, they finally got some reaction to their message. A calm voice came across one of the microphones and muttered, "We no longer want to be freed."
Oh, now that's spine chilling.
Millennials.
Yes.
Yeah, millennials.
Yeah. It's like, they're screaming and wailing, and then silence, and it's like, "We no longer want to be freed." Like, I'm just trying to picture the tone.
Yeah.
Because the tone can make or break this message.
I mean, if it was just all like, "No, we're good, mate. We don't want to be free. We're here."
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's casual. That's fine. But if it's just that low dulcet, "We don't want to be free."
Yes.
That's like, whoa.
Yes. That was good. That was like, that was cold chill inducing there. That was a good one.
You'd look at your mate, wouldn't you, and go, "I ain't going in there. You can go in. I'll stay here. You go and check on him, and I'll stay here."
This is the message they get. And then after this communication, the researchers came to a unanimous decision. And at the end of a long and heated debate between the scientists and the government, who was funding the experiment, they came to a decision. It was decided that they would, in fact, open the chamber at midnight on the 15th day, only halfway through the intended length of captivity. The test stimulant ceased to be administered, and fresh air was pumped through the vents right before they went to open the door. Oddly enough, this got some response of those that were locked inside. Not of relief, but rather begging not to end the ongoing flow of what was more than likely toxic gas. Once the air in the compartment was stabilized, the researchers opened the door to a grisly scene of carnage and chaos. And again, for those of you with a weak stomach, I suggest that we wrap this up here and we'll pipe in again next week beforehand. We're going to go through kind of what's happened so far. And just, this is the part that isn't super bad. I mean, yeah, we have the experiments that are not great for the puppies. But the next portion actually made me queasy and I had to cease my note taking, take a break, and then come back and finish. So this is just, like I said, bare minimum here. And we've got 5 people stuck in a room. They're being watched constantly. They start getting paranoid, as they should. I mean, think about it. If you're locked in a room in general, that's not great. Then, you've got some stuff to do. I mean, clearly there's books to wipe your ass with. But I'm guessing there's some sort of bathroom situation, like maybe books, table. They got to have something to do, right? You can't just leave them in a room with nothing to do for a month. and they start slowly getting paranoid and things are going on. What do you guys think as far as this making sense from a generalized scientific standpoint thus far?
This is some bizarre experiment. I mean, like I say, when we mentioned it at the start, I've had a quick little peek and I saw one of the pictures, and that straight away sent chills just looking at some of the images.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wow, this is something
Yeah.
else. I mean,
It gets intense.
I mean, genuinely, if you don't have sleep for like what 3 or 4 days on a general person, they do say you start to have some sort of weird waking dreams. Now I only know that from like watching Nightmare on Elm Street, and that's like a
Oh,
we're
yeah,
going
'cause
well
that's
back.
scientific proof right there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got to do scientific research before this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I know that usually, I mean, I can't go a full day without sleep. I'm one of those ones who, when their head hits the pillow, I am gone. People hate me.
Oh, pfft.
My other
Yeah,
half,
I hate people like you.
my other half hates me. I will literally, I've got an eye mask. It's got headphones in it. I turn the rain noise on. I'm gone. That's it. I'm
Yes.
fast asleep. Nothing will wake me. Okay.
Oh.
So how these guys even just went 3 or 4 days, he pumped full of this gas, is beyond me. But to the point where they're running up and down, literally sticking pages of books to windows so people can't see them, screaming, whispering at the wall. I mean, this already sounds like my locals in my area, you know, on a general day. And I live in a really weird area. But
Mm.
this is some sort of batshit crazy experiment from what I'm thinking anyway. And just from what I've read about it, just briefly, I'm like, I mean, the experiments on the puppies, that's where they drew the line. They've already crossed the line there.
Oh, yeah.
You do
Oh, yeah.
not mess with dogs, right? I can't even
Yeah.
watch a film where I know a dog's going to die. It kills me. But
Oh.
knowing how they experiment dogs, that's just, if I could get my hands on him.
Well, back in the day, they used dogs a lot. Like Russia apparently does not like dogs or something.
No, I've noticed that. Didn't they send a dog to space as well?
Was that Russia that put a dog to space? I think it was. Or was it Germany?
I think the Americans sent the monkey.
Yes.
The Russians sent.
Was it Russia that sent the?
I think
I
the
think
Russians.
you're
sent-
right.
Yeah, I think Russians sent the dog.
But I know that there was this one experiment where they were taking the head of one dog and like cutting it off and then literally attaching it to another dog's body. So the dog had 2 heads and it survived for like a week or something stupid.
See,
But they were also doing it with monkeys. Like they were taking heads off of monkeys and like replacing it with another monkey's head. And that thing lasted like 2 or 3 days.
now that's made me think about going well back to our childhood. Cat dog. The
Yes,
cartoon.
cat dog.
That's exactly how. That's
Well,
exactly how
dog.
cat dog was done. That's it.
Cat dog.
Cat dog was a Russian experiment that
Cat
actually
dog?
worked.
That tracks 100%. So, Omer, what do you think about the concept of the experiment thus far?
Concept's insane. They pushed 30 days without knowing what happens after a week. It's like if you're doing scientific studies, you do batches, don't you? And you need a control group, which they didn't have. They've just put 5 guys in a room and said 30 days, we're maxing this out beyond belief straight away. It's the worst scientific experiment ever.
Well, there's
And
nothing
then-
that says that they didn't pre-test.
Good point. There's no evidence.
There's no evidence, but given that what they've got here says they clearly didn't test shorter amounts of days, because they would have known, like, oh, no, we left somebody in there 3 days, this is what happened. We left someone in 4 days, this is what happened.
Yeah, there was no gradual build-up.
If they knew that,
There was no
they
gradual
would have known
build-up,
this
yeah.
is going off the rails beforehand.
Unless there was, and this is just the one that got their attention, because what if it was they tweaked, maybe it was like, okay, we get them to where they can stay up for a week. We can get them where they can stay up for 2 weeks. We're going to tweak it and see if we can push for 30 days. And this is just the one where they tapped out on whatever it is, or there was a faulty batch or something that made this one stand out. I mean, there's nothing to say that it didn't happen before.
Yeah. I mean,
Like
we've
it
mentioned it
would.
before in our show where, you know, there's no evidence for certain things. Doesn't mean it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
There's just,
I'm not
they've
saying
not
it hasn't
documented
happened,
it.
It's bad science is all it feels like. It's like that there is better ways to do this. And that's what
Mate,
bugs
What?
me.
It's 1940s Russia.
Yeah, it's like
That's all I'm going to say.
None of it was ever
I-
good, it's true.
I actually just a couple weeks ago, I literally did not sleep for at least 48 hours. Like I was just up and couldn't sleep. And even then, I was not at running back and forth and screaming bloody murder stage. So that makes me
But
think that
that's good to
the
know. That's a
yeah.
good thing.
Yeah, I was
One more day, then maybe.
yeah.
But 48 hours is the limit.
Yeah, 48 hours is the limit. But I feel like the gas itself maybe enhanced the symptoms that they would potentially be having being up for so long. Maybe if it was 48, because, well, I guess it did say they were good until day 5,
Yeah.
which makes sense. And then day 5, they started having difficulties. What is it that they say? It's like you can't stay up for any more longer than a week or you like die or something, which makes sense with, the puppy experiments and everything too.
Yeah, I think it's something like 7 days and your body just starts deteriorating because sleep helps sort of repair the brain. It helps sort of body from anything it's done. I mean,
Yep.
it just your general fatigue. Usually, an average person on a normal work day when they come home from work, you shatter, you go to bed, you sleep quite well, depending on what age you are and if you've got kids. Otherwise, you're getting
Yeah.
woken up at 5 in the morning.
Or
Exhibit
puppies.
Yeah, exhibit A, B, C, D, E, F, and G.
Yeah.
On an average day, you get your sleep. So you feel well rested. 48 hours for yourself, like you say, that's even just staying awake for a full day. I haven't done that since I was a teenager. And even then, it well and truly drained me. I think the last time I did it, I was playing a video game for 24 hours. And it well and truly
Nerd.
drained me. What? Yeah. Yeah, sort of coming out of my room, it sort of felt like Gollum when he first come out of the cave or something, and you just
Yeah.
sort of like the sunlight hits you like, "Arr!"
That's me every day.
That's sort of how I felt. But I mean, I haven't been able to stay awake for that long for quite some time. Like I say, I am one of those ones. My head hits that pillow, I am gone. So this sort of experiment for me would absolutely kill me. I wouldn't have passed day 2.
Oh. See, like I said, I'm an insomniac, but I also sleep with a headband with microphones in it. I also work third shift. So I sleep during the day and I'm a vampire basically, and I wake up at night and I'm up all night. So I have blackout curtains in my room. I wear the headband. I turn the noise up. Just so you know, aside from rain, another really good one is look for sleep music at 432 hertz.
Okay, I will jot that down and have a look for that.
Now, if you have, it's an ADHD thing, I think. So for me, the rain helps, but that 432 hertz, it's enough because I had the problem where I would sit down in my brain, racing thoughts and all of that stuff. Yay, mental health. But it distracts my brain enough that my brain is focused on whatever that vibration is. And the sounds are very soothing. So if you guys do suffer with ADHD or whatnot, definitely try that. There's a 500 something hertz, but I like the 432 hertz sleeping thing. But anyway,
Spotify have a few on there, don't?
Yep.
On there.
So I got one on Apple Music too that I listen to, and I just put it on loop, and it just plays the same thing over and over and over. And then I'll wake up and I'm like, my music. Because my headband's like up on top of my head,
Yeah, mine's usually at the bottom of the bed or something. It's like, where? How do they get there?
Yeah, and then I'm like awake, right? But then it's like I put the thing on and then I'm able to sleep. But aside from that, nothing. So, Omer, how long do you think you'd last in a compartment full of people? Well, I guess not full of people, but with people in it without sleep.
I started a cult in day 4.
Did you say you started a cult?
I'd have been the cult leader. The others would be praying to some god I'd made up at the moment. Only I could see him.
You'd be like kumbaya-ing in the middle of the floor. There's one thing though, later it'll come into play that this room had a drain. So what I'm picturing is like those old scary movies or whatever, where you have the basement and it's like a concrete floor and there's that one drain in the middle of the floor to prevent flooding.
You're talking like an autopsy room where it's just
you got like
the
tiny little drain in the middle of the room because it all slants in. Yeah.
Yes. So
it's very Saw. Like the very first Saw film, right? That very first scene, yeah.
That's what I was thinking too, is you have these people in here and the thing is I mean, it's not like, oh, you have to like rip your hand off or some stupid shit like that, but you have to survive this gas that nobody knows what it's supposed to be doing or what it's going to do to people for an extended period. And it is continuously being pumped into this room from what I gathered, it's not spurts of doses. It's continuously flowing into this air vent and it's all controlled. So they're regulating the oxygen, they're regulating the stuff that goes in because right before they open that door, they're like, okay, so like shit's getting weird, something's wrong. We can't see because it's a shit covered window. And so they stop the gas and they start pumping in oxygen. And that's when the people start responding. And that's what I thought was interesting was it's not that they were reacting anything until they start pumping that oxygen, like that clean air in. And then they're like, no, 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 no. Like put it back, put it back, put it back. We don't want out. We don't need your help anymore. Just leave it. And that by itself,
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. That it's a bit creepy. It's the fact that the gas has stopped and now fresh air's coming in, and you're sort of like, okay, are they okay now? And then that's when they've started talking, they've started saying something. It's like
we don't want to be freed anymore. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that is so eerie. Like that line alone, like the quote there is so ominous to me. It's not like, oh no, we're good, or oh no, put it back. It's we do not want freed. It's like, oh shit. Like I'm just picturing, like you did a very good voice on that, by the way. It
Thank
was
you.
very ominous and very eerie. And I'm not sure how I would have responded as a researcher.
like I said, I would have sent my mate in to check on him.
I'd have been pumping sleeping gas in there.
Put
No,
'em
no,
to
don't
sleep.
check. Pump sleeping gas. Put them to sleep. Then go in the room.
Yes. I feel that the scientists and researchers that were conducting this experiment probably it did not have a whole lot of value to human life. I feel like if they were a little bit more compassionate or at all compassionate, they would have been a little uncomfortable with initially that silence. They wouldn't be trying to figure it out or trying to test the microphones. They'd be like, oh, they're all dead. Whatever. It's fine. Just open the door. Like, let's go get them. They're probably just, corpses on the floor. Corpse carpet.
Yeah.
It's a corpse carpet. But yeah, that's what I've got for this first half here. And I'm going to go ahead, I guess, and put a thing in here that for anybody listening this week, or I guess whenever you're listening, feel free to comment below as to whether or not you, one, would be able to participate and hold out, and how long you think you'd be able to hold out if you were to go through this experiment. But we can go ahead and wrap this half up, and then we will hit up the other half next week. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So we'll wrap this one up. It's going to be kind of a weird transition. But until next time, everybody, we'll see ya.
Bye-bye.
Say.
Bye.